When the song come on, let me see you get gone. Baby mama, this your song. Been pregnant for way too long. Now tell the DJ turn it on.
If she a baby mama,
Go
she
ahead.
gon' do that baby mama. She gon' put it on ya. She gon' do that baby mama. Drop,
Drop it down, drop it down, down low.
drop, drop,
Drop it
drop,
down, drop
drop,
it down, down low.
drop, drop,
Drop it down, drop it down, down low.
Drop,
Do
drop.
that baby mama when I step out on the floor. 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4. Hit the baby mama when I'm stepping through the door. Yeah, I'm pregnant, but I got an ill flow. Trying to make some money, buy some hoagies from the store. S to the T-A, double R-K, to the E-I. S-H-A, and I don't play. Do it my way, Prego, but I'm still doing moves like Beyonce.
What's up, y'all? What's up? Listen, welcome back to Beyond the Robe. If you had caught us, if you came on, we are so sorry for the technical difficulties, but it's time to go now. All right, listen. All right, if you're tuning in, you know that this is Beyond the Road podcast. I am your host, Dantes, Pastor D, Doc, whatever you know me as, that's who I am. And I thank you so much for coming on, tuning in. On this week's episode of Beyond the Road, we are talking about co-parenting. Yikes. That's a monster. All right, but listen, we're going to dive into it. Let me just kind of throw this out there. Beyond the Robe is a podcast that I created. It is a spinoff or a jumpstart to a book that I am writing about my life. Why? Because a lot of people see the pastor in the robe and they don't realize that we are dealing with some stuff outside of that robe, outside of the four walls of that church. This is not a church-based podcast. We are discussing so many topics. The intent is to start the conversation in our homes, our churches, in our communities, in our schools that we just did not have growing up. So that is the intent. And we're going to talk about everything from marriage to divorce to sex to dysfunctional families to molestation to addiction. What you want to know, what you haven't been talking about, we gonna talk about it here on Beyond the Robe, all right? So listen, do me a favor, will you? Everybody that's watching right now, I need you to please not only love it, but I need you to share this. Hey, Sister Juanita, we are still praying for you. Hey, Auntie Elaine, I love you so much. I want you to go ahead and like this. Love this, share this. Listen, do me a favor. If you are on IG, I want you to go ahead and follow me on my IG page @_ Beyond the Robe, @_ Beyond the Robe. And then go ahead over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube page @Beyond the Robe Podcast. All right. All right. Listen, let's dig in. What are we talking about tonight? Man, a topic that a lot of people have said, hey, we need to talk about this. We need to discuss this. So we're going to talk about co-parenting. Man, yeah, co-parenting. I see so many people that are on. Listen, would you do me a favor? Share this. Would you share this video for me? We had almost 1,000 views on our last one and only probably had like 12 shares or something. Come on, share this. Would you do that for me? Come on, share it. Share it. All right. Come on, share that for me. Share it so that people can hear this. I believe the things that we are talking about, somebody can benefit from it, be blessed by it, learn from it, heal from it. If I have one wish, my wish is that when this is over, some healing is starting. There's a process to your healing. So, all right, let's jump in it. As you guys know, me coming back to the podcast after some time, I went public and open about my divorce for the very first time. So we kind of talked about that, kind of dived into that, and then we kind of talked about learning to live. How do you live after divorce? How to adjust after the divorce. And we kind of talked about that, and we talked about some things, and I kind of shared some things and my heart and some personal things that I went through during that process of divorce. And then tonight, we're going to talk about co-parenting. Yeah. We're going to talk about co-parenting because it is something that is very common. It's something that is very common in our community. It's very common in our community. So this is what I want to do. Let's start like we did last week. Let's start with some comments here. Are you in a co-parenting situation? I want to see what we got. Let's see what we got going on. Are you in a co-parenting situation? Let's see. If you are, just say, I've been there. I've been there. If you are watching and you've been in a situation where you had to co-parent, you are no longer in a relationship or a marriage with the person that you have children with, let me just see that I'm not alone here. Let me just see somebody say, I've been there. Good evening, missionary. I see you. I see so many of you logging on. Thanks for the love. If you've been there in a co-parenting situation and you're not too ashamed, let me see. Let me see. If you've been there, somebody say, I've been there. Hey, Ash. I see Ash coming on. What's up, cuzzo? If you've been there, let me see you. I know I ain't the only one. Now, all these people watching, y'all all got kids, and I know doggone well y'all ain't with the kids' father or the mama. Thank you, missionary. Okay, Geraldine, give me a thumbs up. I don't know what that means. Does that mean the sound is good? Does that mean my head is shaved? What do that mean? I've been there. If you've been there, let me hear you say I've been there, because all y'all ain't still with you, with your children's mother or father. So, all right. So listen, we're gonna jump in it. We're gonna talk about co-parenting. Let me say this. I personally never thought that when I had children, especially not having them out of wedlock, that I would have to co-parent, right? I think most, all right, Sister Juanita say she's been there. No kids yet, but they coming, Vicky. They coming. Most people who get married and even have children, I think you don't have to actually be in a marriage. When you find that special someone that you love, that you have been with, that you invested time in, you never truly think about the factor of co-parenting, right? It's like, hey, I love this person. I choose this person. I'm with this person. And nothing ever say we're going to have to co-parent without being in the same home, right? We're going to have to parent these children without being in the same home. It's difficult. If you guys been there, it's difficult. Maybe I have a viewer tonight who's saying, Dantes, I'm not there yet. I'm on my way there. I'm going through a divorce. It's scary. My children are not used to being apart from their other parent, or I don't know if I can make it on my own, raising a child, and all these other things that you may think about. And I want you to know that it is very common. And we're gonna talk about what that looks like. What do that look like? In a situation for me coming out of a marriage. So hopefully I can help you tonight. And then we're going to interact tonight like we did on last week. We're going to have some interactions, and we're going to dig into this thing. I'm going to be polling you guys. I want to know, what you've been through as well. So as you all know, I am almost 2 years into my divorce. It is very new. It's been a year and a half that I've been divorced now, and I have to learn to co-parent with my ex-wife. Why is that difficult, right? Hey, if you're a good parent and they're a good parent, why is that difficult? Or why is it easy? For me, it's not as easy as some of y'all make it look. So let me say kudos to all of you who have been co-parenting for many, 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 many years and have made it look very easy, right? We look on TV, we see the TikToks, and we see the birthday parties, and it's like mom, dad, stepdad, stepmom, little sister, and it looks good, right? It looks really cute, and it's like, oh yeah, that looks nice, and they seem like a real big happy family, but when you in it, you see like, yeah, it's not as easy as they make it look on TV. It's not as smooth as the TikTok videos when everybody wearing the matching shirts identifying the roles, right? Because the truth of the matter is you're still trying to identify that role. Why is it that I'm the children's father and I'm still trying to identify what being a father looks like in these children's life who I've raised for the past 10 years? Why as the children's mother who I've birthed, I'm still trying to get a voice for children that I have birthed and I carried and went through hours of labor with. So it's not as easy as we think, right? Because you got so many things that come into co-parenting. You have the custody, you have the schooling, you have the financial responsibility, you have the spiritual aspects. So the truth of the matter is co-parenting is very difficult. So I hope tonight, as I share with you and help myself, that I can help you, that we can be real and have these conversations, right? One of the things that I wish is that when my ex-wife and I got married, we really had deep counseling, right? Because we didn't have any counseling. We just had our pastors who counseled us, but there was more on the spiritual aspect, but we didn't go to a real therapist to say, hey, this is what we're considering. These are the steps we're taking. And because I think one of the things that we probably would have talked about was, what will it look like if this marriage don't work? And then we could have had conversations about co-parenting, right? But we didn't happen. And I would encourage any of you who are coming out of a relationship or a marriage and have children, get counseling. That was the one thing that I do not like the way we did it. And if I could do anything different, it would definitely be have that conversation with our children, right? Many of you heard my story and my testimony. It wasn't a fun one. After my grandmother passed away, I went off to work, went to a memorial service. I came home and my family was gone. There was no conversation with my children to say, hey, mommy and daddy are moving on, or this is what's going to happen. No talk about, do you understand what a divorce is? Do you know that mommy and daddy will really still love you? We didn't have those conversations, right? So in the co-parenting thing, there's always that feel of, I don't want to be the bad parent, right? I don't want to look like the bad person. But you understand that your children have feelings. So it's like, well, you want to talk about those things? And maybe it's like, well, maybe we're not allowed to talk about those things at this parent house. Whereas this parent allows us to express ourselves and our feelings. Maybe this parent say, we don't talk about it, or it's for the best, or you guys have to trust it, or I'm the adult, or I make the decisions. So you have all these things of co-parenting that come into place that you don't consider, right? So what's step one? To me, step one is communication. Communication will always be the key in co-parenting. You cannot co-parent effectively without great communication. It just won't work. Some will ask, well, how's the communication with you and your ex-wife? If I'm being very transparent, it is not good at all. It is amazing to me how you could love someone for 18 years, be married to them for 13 years, and after a divorce, one day after 18 years, it's almost like you don't even know each other anymore. There's no communication about the kids. You don't see eye to eye. Everyone co-parenting situation is different. I can only talk from experience about mine, but we're still learning how to communicate. We're learning how to co-parent. For me, it has to be the communication piece, right? And the communication, not just between the children, but communication between the parents. There should have been a conversation to say, hey, this divorce is going to be final, or hey, I'm going to be moving out soon. We need to talk to the kids. Now, of course, some would say, well, what if one parent is unreasonable? Right, I have been painted in the light of being the unreasonable parent. I'm the hothead. I am not. I want to be nice, but I'm not reasonable. Okay, I've been the jerk parent, right? So everything that was done because I don't have enough sense or tolerance or patience to have a conversation. And it's not true. I think if a lot of people know me, they know that outside of ministry, outside for my love for God and cooking and baking and all of that, they know that my children, it's my first ministry. I will kill a rock over my two children. Period. It doesn't matter. So what happens is once the communication piece is off between the parents, the co-parenting will not be effective because the children will see it. Let me help somebody. No matter how slick you think you are, your children know. I'm telling you, no matter how slick you are, your children know. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ash. Thank you. Thank you so much. You are an amazing father. I try to be. I try to be the best father that I can be. So how have my co-parenting looked? I would say not great. Not great. Not great. What? Come on, pastor. You pastor a whole church. Y'all, y'all parents. Y'all are ministers of the gospel. It has to do with absolutely nothing. It doesn't matter what your title is. There are lawyers who have defended others in a divorce and helped them and have gotten divorced and are horrible co-parents. There are judges and doctors and pastors who we just cannot get it right. And I want to help us today because I don't think that can be the case. I feel like you should be able to effectively co-parent even if you're not together. You should be able to parent that child no matter what the situation is. I got divorced, and when I got divorced, I had my children every weekend without fail. I mean, I want to say the first year of my divorce, I had my children every single weekend. So I didn't quite have a life. I couldn't quite gain a sense of who I am or any fun or anything like that because I had my children on the weekend. So, we kind of talked about life after divorce and me talking about seeing her live her life without me. Well, there was a lot of that because on the weekends I'm working during the week, and on the weekends I take that time to try to prepare and get myself ready for Sunday morning. I didn't have time to go out. I didn't have time to process my grandmother's death. I didn't have time to process the divorce. I didn't have time to date. And because I had the children there, I didn't want my children to see, another woman in my home. The only woman they ever seen their dad with was their mom. They never seen their mother and father sleep in the bed with another person. They never seen their dad cook dinner for another person. They never seen these things. So I had my children every weekend. So I kind of felt like I lost a sense of freedom, so to speak. My whole life as an adult was consumed of being a husband. And then after that, it was consumed of being a husband and a father. And then it was being a husband, a father, and a pastor. And then I'm divorced, and now it's just strictly being that father because I had to be there. So there was no sense of who is Dantes. Go out, get your mind off it, go out, win. I'm working during the week. We talked about the whole depressed stage. We talked about me not changing my drawers for 2 weeks, so it's like, now the kids is over. I really ain't got time to get in the shower. I was just stinking. I was thinking and stinking. Lord, how am I going to get out of this? And when am I going to get out these drawers? Help me, Jesus. Y'all know I'm silly. But the truth of the matter is, I didn't have a way to effectively communicate with my ex-wife. Why? Because one, we're both hurt. We're both hurt, right? Neither one of us thought that we would go through a divorce. and neither one of us thought we would be raising these children without each other. So the communication was off, right? I'm still mad. She's still hurt. She don't want to talk at all, right? So it's like you pick up the phone to talk, and it's like, well, I don't want to talk. It's like, well, but it's about the kids. Like I have the kids here, right? And you are so used to the parent always being in the home. So when one kid is sick and you're married for 13 years, it's like, oh, well, they're sick. Well, what we need to do? And then it's like, well, you need to figure it out, right? You know, like, you're their father. I can't answer the phone every time something is going on. But in my mind, it's like, to hell you can. You they mama. I'm supposed to be able to call you and reach you. So it's those things of understanding co-parenting, understanding that, hey, when they're with you, I trust you. You're their father or you're their mother. So when an issue come up, if it's not a matter of life, death, or extreme emergency, handle it, right? That's difficult. You don't know these things in co-parenting, right? You're just like, oh, well, let me call your mom. Or, oh, let me call your dad. And it's like, well, they ain't answering. So now you're texting. Well, why you ain't answering the phone? You know we got these kids. You probably over there laying up under that greasy nigga. Excuse me. See? Y'all see? Y'all ain't say. But seriously, that's how it is, right? Oh, he must be out on it. Y'all know how y'all be. Y'all know how y'all feel patting your weave and everything. Yeah, because my child, he ain't going to tell y'all. So you try to learn these things, but the truth of the matter is you don't know, right? You don't know. So what are some of the major things that you experience? You experience that whole piece of the communication. We don't know how to effectively communicate. Why is that important? The children need that. Listen, children don't need married parents. Pastor, how could you say that? It's the truth. They don't need married parents. They need healthy parents. You can raise a child. Now, please hear me. I'm not saying that folks should just be out here getting a divorce and not get married and having children. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is if you find yourself in a situation where you are raising a child without a spouse or without their other parent, they just need you to be healthy and whole. They need you to be healthy and whole. One of the things for me, I see y'all coming in. If y'all here, come on, love this, and share this. I got 21 people watching at the moment. I should have at least 21 shares. It takes 2 seconds to share this. Somebody need to be encouraged and blessed by this. So, one of the things that hurt me is not being able to hide my emotions from my children. Right? So I'm grieving my grandmother. I'm going through this divorce and my children are at my home and it's like I'm going through. I'm going through. I'm grieving all these losses and it's like, well, Dad, can we have movie time? And it's like, yeah. Well, what y'all want to watch? Well, we want to watch Parent Trap. And it's like, oh God, not Parent Trap. It's like, you think about these moments and then they look and it's like, Dad, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. So I had to say, okay, well, if I'm not going to have good communication with their mom, I have to have good communication with them. So whereas they were not allowed to talk about the divorce or their feelings with their mom, I told them that we would have a safe space. That if there was something that they wanted to talk about or they felt, that I would not stop them from talking about it because they were not in counseling. We did not go to counseling. So I allowed that. So the communication, although it didn't start with their mother, it started with them. Let's communicate. Let's talk. How you feeling? Well, I'm hurt. I'm hurt, Daddy. I miss you. Why are we not a family anymore? Well, these are things that happen. Well, we talked to Mommy, and all she says is for the best. Mommy won't let us talk about it. All of these things they kind of come up, right? Start the communication, even if it's just with your children. I think a lot of times we feel like because the communication is not great between the parents, that the children should lack. No. If you don't have good communication, if I never talk to their mother again, I have to communicate with them. I have to let them know that I still love them. I have to let them know that I'm still their father. I have to let them know that, hey, come hell or high water, I will be there for you. I have to let them know that there's nothing you cannot tell me. I have to let them know that we will never keep secrets. The communication goes beyond just the parents. Let's read some of these comments. That's good that you have an open line of communication with them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kids know when you're hurting. Absolutely. Absolutely. So these are all things that I had to learn now being a divorced father. All right. So it was those things. And then it's the co-parenting part when now you hear the children begin to talk about coming from a broken home. That was difficult. That was difficult. I remember my children was playing with their cousins and some friends on my parents' street. And there was an altercation between the kids. And they were picking on one of the kids because her grandmother was on drugs and and they were picking on the kids. And my daughter came to me crying. And I'm saying, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong, baby? What's wrong? And she's so smart. And she said, Daddy, they're over there arguing. And y'all know I'm a crybaby. But it's in these moments I realize how blessed I am and how well we raised our children. She said they're over there arguing and they want to fight and I told them that we all are experiencing some things in life. Your mom may be on drugs and your mom may have this, and me and my brother come from a broken family, but we're still healthy. We're still here. We still have God. And she was just crying. And to hear her be able to encourage somebody else and say, hey, I come from a broken home, but I still have God. I'm still healthy. It did something to me. And it let me know that everything was going to be okay. It let me know that even in this broken situation, even in this divorce, I was still raising my children the right way. That we were still doing something right. So the communication started there. Now, where do things get rocky? Where do things get rocky when it comes to co-parenting? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Because y'all know it. Where do things get rocky? Money. Moolah. Money. Why? Can y'all help me? Those who say y'all been through this thing, Miss Juanita and Missionary Brooks and Geraldine and so many others who say that they've been through this whole co-parenting thing. Why is it that money seems to really be the crashing divider in the co-parenting situation? Come on, let's talk. We're going to talk tonight. We interacting tonight. I want to hear from you in these comments. Let's talk about it. Why? Why is money that end all be all in a co-parenting relationship? Let me hear it. Let me see what you got to say. Let me hear from you guys. I got 27 people watching. I want 27 of you all right now. Share this. Somebody will benefit from this. Share this. Okay. Geraldine says, I can't speak on that. I don't have any. Oh, well, that fixes that problem there. All right. We got my brother Hutch says, it's tough, bruh, but when you are on the same page, it can work. I believe it. It can work. My question is, why is money the factor that causes things to kind of crumble in this co-parent? I don't see it live. Are we live? Let's see. I am so sorry for the technical difficulties.